today is Siman Lamed Dalid, but I want to finish up the Mishnah Berurahs of what we did yesterday. So, Mechaber had said that the ideal way, at least the initial way the Mechaber describes putting on Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin and Rashi is at the same time. Then the Mechaber says, Im ein yedei l'chaver ha'makom la'aniach shneim yachad yaniach k'divrei ha'echad shel yad v'shel rosh v'yaniach ha'achron al smach bracha rishona. What does that mean? So he says if you can't get the placement right, then put one on first. Now we have some of the words that are added in our Shulchan Aruch is then remove the first, then put on the second. So what it sounds like, relying on the bracha, what it sounds like the Mechaber is describing what we do, most people do, which is put on the Rashi and then take it off. The Mishnah Berurah says it's not what the Mechaber means. What the Mechaber means is, ideally you put the mamash on at the same time. Let's say I can't do that. Physically, it's too hard for me. Then here's what you do. Make the bracha, put on Rashi, and then instantly put Rabbeinu Tam at the same time. Meaning he's talking about the small tefillin. He's not talking about putting on Rashi and then taking it off. The Mishnah Berurah says, take out those words. The Mishnah Berurah says, Yaniach k'divrei echad shel yad v'shel rosh, v'yaniach ha'acherim al smach bracha rishona. V'lo garsin v'salag miyad. Mishnah Berurah says, according to the Mechaber, the ideal is you put them both on at the same time. If you can't do that, then put on the Rashi and then put on Rabbeinu Tam instantly right away. Might be a little easier. Then the Mishnah Berurah says, V'im lo yuchal. Now the Mechaber is saying, let's say I can't do that either, says the Mishnah Berurah, Pirish, afilu b'zachar zeh. Meaning I can't get them both on at the same time. Even if I put on Rashi, then instantly put on, I can't do it. Why? He says, let's say I have an injury, so I don't have room on my bicep for both. Or, the Mishnah Berurah says, let's say I'm embarrassed. So that now you have to, so now what do you do? So, the Mishnah Berurah says, "Hamaligan lav yanir shal Rashi." You put on Rashi, v'yivarich aleim dehema ikar ledina, v'sher Rabbeinu Tam yiniach achar atfila, kedei lotzeis ledivrei hakol. Now, Mishnah Berurah then says, "Ayin bir halacha shehichachnu." The bir halacha clarifies that we proved the me'oid tzarich lizaher shelo yichave b'nechasam rak mishum sveika v'loy b'stam l'shem mitzvah, which is very interesting. And that is that when you put on Rabbeinu Tam Tefillin after davening, do not have in mind that you're doing this for the mitzvah of Tefillin. You still should have in mind that the kavanah that we had yesterday, which is, have in mind that I don't know which one is the ikar mitzvah. Now, we said yesterday you had to do that because you're wearing it at the same time, and there's a concern of Bal Tosef. So the Bir Halacha clarifies in Divrei Maskli Yaniach Shal Rabbeinu Tam nearly the gam bezet tzarich lizar lechavin she'eno osakin rak mishum sveika. Even this, even putting it on one after the other after davening, you should have in mind that you're only doing it mitzad safek, meaning I acknowledge there's one that's the ikar and the other one is not yaitza. I'm only not sure, so therefore I'm putting on both. Ubezelu kuliyam le'avar Bal Tosef ubal tigra. Dim yichavin stam bezelu kain mitzvah say tefillin. Now let's say just stam. I'm not thinking. I just want to mekayim the mitzvah of tefillin. So I put on Rashi, put on Rabbeinu Tam. The problem is, Hagam de'in bezem mishum Bal Tosef. The truth is, it's not Bal Tosef. Why? Because you're not wearing them at the same time. Dehailuchu deikoi. Akapanim shema be'emes adin karashi. Utfilin elu psulim. Dehichlif parshaseyem. V'nimtza oivza aval tigra. Da'aloy mavur b'smag. The oisa gimel teitafes betfilin over abal tigra. Hachanami tekavase halei ein le'rak shtei parshias. Oh, very interesting. What's the issue with thinking mekayim the mitzvah? Because I'll tell you why. Let's say, according to Rashi, Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin are puzzle, pashtus, al pi halacha. That means that Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin are sort of, from the perspective of Rashi, are like missing boxes. It's like you're putting them on. Out of the four, there's only two that are in the right spot. So it's like putting on a tefillin of two boxes, which is Bal Tigra. Bal Tigra means that you're doing less than the mitzvah. So if you're mechavin the mitzvah, that means from the perspective of Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're trying to mekayim the mitzvah, but you only have two out of the four. So if you're just saying, listen, I know one of them is yaitza, one of them not, and I'm not sure, fine. But if you're just trying to mekayim the mitzvah, the Bir Halacha feels that it's a problem of Bal Tigra, and therefore you should have in mind that it's a suffix. I only want to mekayim the mitzvah with one of them, whichever the one that Kadosh Baruch Hu decides is emes that one mekayim the mitzvah. Again, I think according to the Arizal, none of this applies, because according to the Arizal, you're supposed to wear both. So I don't think having a kavanah, although according to the Arizal, he's probably supposed to wear them at the same time. But the point is, according to the Arizal, I don't think there's a necessity of having this kavanah. I'm going to check up Rav Yaakov Hillel, who's, by the way, coming to the neighborhood in a few weeks.
Our neighborhood?
Yeah, he's going to be in Chavetz Chaim. So back to the Mishnah Berurah of Achar Tefillah, and then so you wear Rashi during davening, and then after davening you put on Rabbeinu Tam. It says the Mishnah Berurah, Hainu kedin amavor la'el. Loy keilu acholz until in the Rashi menichad Rabbeinu Tam take of lacher kedusha shel yurches. Not like the people that put on Rabbeinu Tam tefillin during Chazar Shatz. Ubehemes, first of all, because you're supposed to fulfill the kedusha of davening. Whatever the spirituality that's being accomplished through davening should be done with Rashi tefillin. So you don't do it during Chazar Shatz. The only time I've seen that the Poskim advise to do it during Chazar Shatz potentially is on Rosh Chodesh, because Rosh Chodesh you can't wear the Rabbeinu Tam tefillin after Hallel, during Musaf, or even after Musaf. Many Poskim say don't wear it throughout the day because Musaf is already a different Zach. So what I practically try to do is I try to switch it on during Kriyas HaTorah.
But Dr. Joseph says you should do it before Kriyas HaTorah.
Before Kriyas HaTorah. That's what I do also.
Yeah.
But
shouldn't.
Correct.
Like
I've
bad.
seen some poskim mention it, but the Mishnah Berurah is saying he's not a fan. First of all, spiritual reasons. It's not Rabbeinu Tam tefillin should not be worn during Chazar Shatz. He says Mulvad Sha'is and Shleikadin. Also, it's Chazar Shatz. You're supposed to listen to the Chazan. You're too busy wrapping up your tefillin, putting on the tefillin. You're not going to listen to the Chazar Shatz. Now, the Shulchan Aruch pointed out that when you put on a Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, he said you should say Shema and B'Hayim Shemoya. Notice how he didn't say the third paragraph of Shema to say. He just said the first two. So the Mishnah Berurah clarifies, Aval ein sarach parshat tzitzis. Why? Ki chasham shasha d'shema heid edu sheker kvar tikkun bebeis parshias. He says, why is it that you're supposed to say the two parshias with Rabbeinu Tam? It's because I'll tell you why. Because we want, when you're saying Shema, you should be wearing the proper tefillin, right? Because you say so. From the perspective of Rabbeinu Tam tefillin, maybe Rashi was incorrect. So when you said it, the Shema the first time, you were made a sheker. So now we say it a second time. But the last paragraph is unnecessary. You have to say the last paragraph once in the morning because it's kind of the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. But now you're not doing that. You're just trying to basically say the words ukshartem with the proper tefillin. So for that, the two parshios have that line. The third parsha does not. I'm per megan mashman nidich yesh linig hamaniach tefillin der Rabbeinu Tam shenichinu rak la'achar shesilik der Rashi pashik demisha levish kol yom tefillin shenachan yoyse sheyobish tefillin der Rashi. If a person is going to wear tefillin all day, wear Rashi all day as opposed to Rabbeinu Tam. Then the Mechaber said in Gimel is lo yasakein elamisha muchzuk umafursim bechasidus. The only person who should do this is someone who is muchzuk bechasidus. Says the Mishnah Berurah Hainu afili mirtzel nicham rak achar atfila. Even to do it after davening, not just at the same time, even after davening. It's the Mishnah Berurah's perspective. Even after davening, you should only do it muchzuk bechasidus. Because of eberhetiv beish echad sheyinoig laniach tefillin der Rabbeinu Tam lachar atfila befarhesia befnei hakol imichzi kiyura. The Shaila was asked, is putting on Rabbeinu Tam tefillin after davening in front of a lot of people gaiva? Pasuk b'tshuvas marash halevi the michzik yura. Yes, it's a problem of gaiva. B'tzar shivatum minhagay, and you have to stop doing that. Obviously, like I told you, nowadays there's so many people that do it, so many chassidim do it. It's no longer gaiva. B'kingas b'shus Yaakov shafilu miktzas oisin yesh v'shum yura. B'minicham b'frei adam gadol sheinoig lanichin kuliyama b'kerev avakim berveisay vadi michzik yura. And to wear it in front of an adam gadol who doesn't wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin publicly, for you to do it, it's avada gaiva. B'chasidus shekivan sha'olam noigin karashi ner kiyura. What's the gaiva? So the Mishnah Berurah clarifies, because it looks like you're so machmer about this, are you machmer about other things also? So it's like, yeah, I'm machmer on everything. That's the gaiva. So it's not Rabbeinu Tam tefillin that's the gaiva. It's Rabbeinu Tam tefillin indicates that you're someone who covers his bases in everything. That's the indication of gaiva.